I don't have a routine except for I wake up and I get up. And when I get up, I get busy. You know, as the old saying we have in Chicago, you know, show up and show out. So when I show up in the morning, I show out all day. My name is Napoleon Jones-Henderson, and we're here at my studio in Roxbury in the historic Highland Park district, known as sometimes Fort Hill. But I've been here roughly 45 years. It was the former home of Dr. Edward Everett Hale, who is the nephew of Nathan Hale. And this whole area, William Lloyd Garrison's house was just around the corner here, and many other individuals involved with the life at that time and the abolitionist movement in particular. We started in Chicago in 1968, and we came together as a concern for the role of the visual artist within the, quote, civil rights movement. And you know, during the 60s and early 70s, mid 70s, there was quite a bit of activity of marches and so forth, and they're not protest marches, they were marches of affirmation of our humanity as a people. We knew we were not the type of person to do, quote, the nonviolence, because if someone aggresses me, I am not just going to passively, if you will, as they say, turn the other cheek. And so we decided that the way to make a contribution through our skills and our commitment, which was to the visual arts, was to create a body of work that supported and affirmed what the civil rights movement's philosophical base was about. It had to have positive images of black people. Words were important in the works, bright, vivid colors, as we call them, Kool-Aid colors, and shine. This is the piece dedicated to James Baldwin. It's a part of a series of pieces I've been working on. Started in 2004. The series is Requiem for Our Ancestors. I ran across an article in the newspaper. Somebody had rediscovered the Blind Boys of Alabama as if they had been lost or gone somewhere. These, at the time, young boys were sent to, as it was the practice across this country, people born with different kinds of disabilities of sorts, blindness or deformity of limbs and things of that nature. They were put into, quote, institutions. And in the South, and they even had it in as I call it, up South, they had a facility for the Negro handicap, and they had another for whites. Now, that in itself speaks volumes about the insanity of racism. When I came here in '74, I came here in September of '74. That was when Lois Day Hicks and all the rest of those folks down there at the City Hall were threatening to burn and turn over all the buses with people's little babies on them going to school. You know, and it was crazy because you could see here in Boston what you didn't even see in Mississippi and Alabama in terms of the vitriol of racism. And at the same time, it was, compared to Chicago, it was an extraordinary city. I'm glad to be able to make this contribution to the larger community and to be able to do it through the ICA. I hope that if they deal with the exhibition as a compilation of a 5-decade journey of an individual who is a member of the community, they'll come out of there spiritually uplifted and aesthetically nourished, because my works are steeped and seated and centered in spirituality and nourishing the human being. I get up every day in the pursuit of making another contribution of a positive image that elevates and affirms the humanity of African people, and by extension the humanity of all people.